So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to use Photoshop to automatically remove crowds from your shots. So welcome back to another video. Today is a video that hopefully it'll be useful to you if you shoot in areas where there's a lot of people, maybe tourist attractions, and you're trying to get, say, a picture of a building and you just don't want anyone in your shot. Now, this is not an automatic function within Photoshop that is designed for this. This is more of a shooting technique that you can use along with one of the functions in Photoshop to do this for you. You can do a lot of things with this particular technique and this particular function, but the one that I'm going to show you today is specifically for removing people from your shot. So, a few ground rules. In order to make this work, you're going to have your camera on a tripod. It's all to do with image stacking. That is, you're going to take a number of images and then you're going to stack them together, and we're going to ask Photoshop to then do what they call a mean transaction on the image, or a mean processing on the image. And this is going to make a lot more sense when we go into Photoshop and we open up the images there. But for the time being, all you need to know is that all the exposures have to be the same. So the camera has to be on a tripod. You've got to be shooting in manual mode so that the exposure doesn't change. You got to lock your focus and the focal range as well, so you can't be zooming in and out with your lens. So with that being said, let's go and find a scene with some people in it and see what we can let's see what we can find. So it was surprisingly empty around Manly today for some reason. It was a beautiful day, but there weren't a lot of people around. So I headed to the wharf, and there are some people around here. It's not a crowd, but it'll do for what we're trying to do. So let's go into Photoshop and take a look. Okay, so here we are inside of Photoshop, and I ended up taking 18 shots for this demo, and you can see the shots on the right hand side here. I've got them loaded up as layers. Now, you don't need to do this. This is purely for me to show you that there are people in all of these frames. This is not the only way to do this, by the way. There's many ways to do this. This is just an easy way that you can use some of the efficiencies within Photoshop just to get a result faster. So let's get started. We're going to go and create a brand new document, but we're going to go up to the file menu, and we're going to click on scripts from file, and then we're going to go down to statistics. Now, when this box comes up, there's two things that you need to be careful with here to make sure that you get them right. And the first one is that you select median in here. So I know that in the beginning of the video I accidentally was referring to mean, but median is the one that you want. So then we browse to where our files are at. I've already got a folder with some JPEGs in there. There's 18 of them, so I'm going to select all of those by clicking the first one, shift click on the last one, click open, and then I am going to make sure that this box is ticked. Now, if you don't have to do this. This is just going to try to align your photos if you did not use a tripod. I did use a tripod, but sometimes I don't know, there could be some movement even with a tripod, so I always click this. I will then click on OK, and what Photoshop is going to do once I click OK is, how this works is that it's going to look at all the different images, and it's going to find what is exactly the same across all those images. For example, only in this image is this gentleman here covering up this sign, say for example this yellow sign. So I don't know what that looks like. So it's going to look into all of the other images to try and see if this yellow sign is visible in any of them. And it will be, because he's going to walk past the sign, and it'll appear on some of the other images, right? So what it's doing is taking a mean of all the things that remain equal within the image, if that makes sense. So I'm going to click OK. We're going to click this, that's going to kick that off, and I will probably just fast forward through this bit and let Photoshop do its thing. Okay, so that took about 45 seconds. I've got a very old Mac. And as you can see, everything has now been, all the people have now been removed. And you will see on the, if I zoom in here, for example, that there is a person in here that did not get removed. And the reason for that is that I never took any photographs where he was away from his seat. So all the photographs, he was in there. So he is, for lack of a better term, a permanent part of the picture. Just as the lamppost is, and just as the sign is. So they're the things that were constant in all of the photographs. The people were not constant because they were moving around, and that's what Photoshop, using that equation, can detect and remove it from the scene. So had I waited a little bit longer and until this gentleman moved, and then I would have taken a few extra shots, and I could have, and that he would have been removed from the image as well. So hopefully this makes sense to you, and it's something that you can use to, maybe when you go on holidays and you're trying to take pictures of, attractions, some place where you're never going to get back to, and you want to make sure that you get a nice clean frame. This is something that potentially could be of use to you. Okay, so that's it. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comments. I will do my best to answer all of them for you. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.